Welcome to Ingrid's World Television Show. My name is Ingrid Paris Hicklin. I am the host and executive producer of the show. On this show, me, Asmaa Idrisu, multi-talented singer, songwriter, recording artist, born in Cairo, Egypt, to a Nigerian father and an Egyptian mother, Asmaa Idrisu spent her young adult years in Nigeria, the United Kingdom, and in Egypt. She attended George Mason University, where she received a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering. And in the spring of 2010, she created AiRis Music, her own recording label. Asmaa Idrisu is truly an international artist that is influenced by many genres of music. Welcome to the show, Asmaa Idrisu. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let's start with telling us about your career and your education.
Well, so I did go to George Mason University, which is local to here. I studied engineering, but that's my professional side. But from the music perspective, I have been singing since I was 15, growing up in Nigeria, and that kind of never left me. So after college, after I graduated from college, I decided to pursue my singing career. And I started off, trying to get into the in Virginia. And then from there, I went back to Nigeria for about a year or two, where I really launched my singing career.
Wow. I mean, that's really amazing. So you said you've been singing since you were 15. Trace us back to how you got involved in music.
So, I mean, basically, I didn't even know that I could sing, actually. And then a couple of friends of mine, they played like guitar, and there's this day a friend of mine brought his guitar to school, and he played this song that I knew, and he was like, "Can you sing to the song?" I'm like, "Sure." And I sang to the song, and he was like, "Did you know that you have a great voice?" And I was like, "No."
Wow.
And he invited me to perform on Fridays at this particular singing restaurant / singing night, not nightclub, but it was like a restaurant that had like like a band.
Wow.
And I started out there, and from there, people noticed me, and I just kind of started getting into it because I guess I realized that I had a talent.
It sounds like very much that. So you've been singing, since you were 15, but then how do you make the leap to pursue a career in entertainment? And I'm going to tell our audience, you're going to be getting ready to see such a treat because Asmaa is phenomenal. But how do you make that leap to say, okay, I'm going to have a career in entertainment?
I mean, it's a big thing, especially since I studied engineering. It's like you don't really think you're going to do it, but music has always been a part of me, and it's something I love. I don't see myself never doing it. So after college, I worked a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I really want to sing, and decided to do what it takes to get there, to perform, to be out there, to meet people, to let people hear my music and my work. And it was a big leap, but I took the leap, and I started working towards my career. And after that, things just started happening. Radio shows. I was being hosted in the radio. I was getting invited to perform in different places. I decided to launch a video for my first single because I wanted people to put a face to the voice. And that's kind of how it took. That's the path that it took.
Wow. I mean, what's fascinating about you, Asmaa, is that we were working originally on a show, I guess wearing your engineering hat, we were working on a show on climate change. And then things changed, and then we said, okay, we're not going to do that yet, but we would focus on your musical career. What a multi-talented person you are.
Thank you very much.
Oh, so let's talk about this video. Tell us about the video that we're going to be watching, and then I'm going to introduce it. Where did you record this video? I've watched it a lot of times, several times, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. So I recorded the song. Actually just gonna go back up a little bit. A producer I was working with at the time, sent me the beat. I loved it. It took, but I just knew when I heard that song, I knew that that was gonna be my first single.
Wow.
And so once the song was out there and I started pushing it on the radio, people loved it. And everybody wanted to know who was singing the song. And, because I was promoting it in Nigeria at the time. And it went to Ghana, and it went to Tanzania, and it went to the UK. And people wanted to see the voice, right?
Yes.
So I reached out to my PR person, and she organized got me the producer, who was actually turned out to be Adam Rush. So Adam Rush was the producer who he produced. I think it was Nicki Minaj's first video for the song that made her really famous. So I was really excited to work with him. When he said he was going to work with me, I was like, oh my God, Adam Rush. So we shot it in Miami. I think it took about 18 hours. It was a really long day. But he was a great producer. We had such a good video chemistry. Yeah, that's kind of the story of the video.
That's the background. Well, everyone stay right there. We're going to pause now and watch this wonderful video. You're in for a treat.
Dark into the light. Taught me
So watching the video, I'm filled with joy, the splendid surroundings, and just the energy that you have, the positive energy that you have. So my question to you is, what kind of singer do you classify yourself as?
That's a good question. So I grew up loving pop music, and my music is more alternative and pop. But I have to say that I do have African and Mediterranean influence in my music just because of my roots. So it's kind of part of me. I grew up listening to a lot of West African music and Arabic music, and I tend to put those elements in my songs. So I would say I'm an Afro pop musician.
Ooh.
But also at the same time, a lot of people that like the alternative music genre really relate with my music as well. They relate to my music, sorry. So I think that I'm a little bit of both. I would say Afro pop and alternative.
You know, when I was listening to it, and I guess it's the Afro pop that just lets you know that you're listening to something very different. This is not something that you're turning on the local station. I wish we were, and hearing this, but it's something very different. And I would like to say spiritual because it's beautiful. Yeah. So tell us about your best performance of your career so far.
Well, I would say about 2 years ago, I went to Nigeria to perform, which is a very small show, but it was very intimate, and it was a great performance because I had one or two music people with me, but I did do like a whole bunch of songs, new, old, upcoming. I think it really, and the crowd was actually the crowd that knew me and they were all following my music. In fact, I had two or three people fly in from out of state just to watch the show, and that really touched me. I didn't realize that I had such die-hard fans. I think that was an awakening kind of show where I was like, okay, people love this music. People love me as an artist, and I need to continue to do this because people always ask for more of this kind of music. So that was a really, really life-changing show that I had.
It was just really beautiful to be able to listen to this. And so my other question is that now, who are you inspired by?
Wow, I think I'm always inspired by any strong, I would say strong women inspire me. I think a lot of people that have been through hardship or been through traumatic events inspire me. Anybody that has been able to go through a lot and, come back, resilient people inspire me. And it doesn't have to be anybody famous. I just feel like I'm really inspired by strength. I'm inspired by the ability to come out of difficulties and to come out of situations that are so life changing. So, I mean, just women in general inspire me, from Sade, who's a great singer, to my next door neighbor or somebody that I know who's close to me that has been through a hard time and came out of it.
And they come out of it. That's a beautiful way, and that gets us to start thinking about being that example, and hopefully we inspire others. So that's a beautiful thing to say. So now let's switch gears and tell us about your recording label, because I got excited when I saw that too.
Yes, yes. So AiRis Music has been around for a while. In fact, I decided to just create my own recording label because I am an entrepreneur. And when my music came out, I had some issues with some other producers and record labels. I
Mhm.
didn't feel like there was a fair deal, and so I decided to start my own record label, AiRis Music. And at the time, it was hard trying to learn the business. But I did at some point have my own studio that I was running out of Lagos, Nigeria. So for people out there that have heard about that, because people always come to me like, "Is your studio still running?" I'm like, "No, it's not running anymore." But yes, that's me. I'm AiRis. I'm the one who had the studio in Lagos, and it was a really great studio. At some point, it was very successful. We had a lot of people come in. It was the first of its kind. It was
Wow.
the only acoustic studio in the town that we lived in at the time. And we even had the involvement of the British Council in Nigeria. They would come and bring all their artists to come. Hennessy was part of that group too. So it was a really successful business. But then I moved back to the US and kind of like that business went out. But AiRis Music is still moving, is still running. We're trying to do all kinds of things. Right now we have a show called Motherland on YouTube. So we're still doing things.
See, that's wonderful because, when I was looking, your music, there are some things you listen to that they're almost like time stamped, but your music is not time stamped. So I can listen to it. I'm like, oh, it sounds very fresh, very new. So it's wonderful to hear that you're still continuing. So is this exclusively just for you, or are there other artists that you have on your record label?
So right now we have a list of people that we want to sign on, but as of right now, it is just me.
Wow, wow. And so what advice do you have for future singers? Because you have, a lot of people who will say, oh, this is something I really want to do, get involved.
Yes, I would say the sooner you start, the better. The earlier you start, the better. Because, being an artist is like building a house. You have to start from the bottom up. And like any business too, like with a career, you have to build and you have to continue building. And the more you're out there, the more your music is out there, the more you're performing, people get to know you. It's like building a network and you can't stop. You have to continue. So just if you love it, do it. And the people who appreciate good music will come around eventually. And when you have those type of fans, they never leave you. Like it's a lifelong thing. So I would say the sooner you start, the better.
You're quite right, because when you said Sade, my ears perked up like that. Yeah, you don't leave the artist, you stay with the artist. So in terms of next steps, what is the future? How are you pathing your future? Tell us about your journey thus far and where you plan to, head towards.
Yeah, okay. So my journey thus far has been interesting. I've had ups and downs. I've had, moments where I was along with my career and everything was great. I've had downtime. I've had to build a family and start a family. I've had times when I was not doing music, where I had switched careers multiple times, but the music never left me. And at some point, I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna keep doing this. I can't stop. So in terms of that was the path, and right now I am still creating good music. I'm still connecting with producers all over the world. I have a whole bunch of new songs coming out soon, and videos, and also I'm doing my show Motherland, which is also a great show. It's exposing people that do great things all over the world. So there's all that is going on, and then we're also looking for new talent and new artists, and we have a lot of things planned out for the next couple of years.
Wow. Now, will they be mainly in the States, or is it going to be in Nigeria? You're so international,
now,
so that's why I asked that question.
no, it's a good question. Right now we're focusing on the States. We're focusing on, looking for really young talent, people that that are genuine, people that are writing music that has very meaningful elements in it, people with new styles of music, people that are making music that nobody has really heard before, music that's classic. We want people that are creating classical music, that timeless music. And so we're looking for genuine content from different artists.
Oh, I love the fact that you're going after new talent and classical music. Wow, that's amazing. So my next question is, where can we find more information about you?
Okay, well, there's my website, which is just, if you search for AiRis Music, irismusic.com, you'll get there, and then you can there's an email right at the bottom of the page, the info page. Just click on it and send us an email, or if you want to book an appointment, you can do that too. You can also look for me on Instagram. It's AiRis Music, AiRis Music,
Excellent.
We're on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media platforms. And like I said, again, you can just send us a message on my website, irismusic.com.
So we have about a minute or so that I want to ask you a question. About AiRis Music, you talked about the label, but Asmaa, what makes you happy? Because you have its glow. So what makes you happy?
I have been a very resilient person, even before, more resilient than I could even understand or imagine. And I think I always say to myself, no matter how bad things are, there's always hope. There's always that ray of light. When you're going through a really bad patch in your life, you just sit down with yourself and say, I'm going to get through this. And funny enough, you do. So I'm always like, just be happy. Life is short. Do what you love. Surround yourself with people who love you and who care about you. And you always find yourself in a happy place. Like, take out that negative energy. Do not put people around you that bring you down. If they bring you down, they shouldn't be around you. Surround yourself with positive energy as much as you can, and you'll be a happy person.
And you'll be a happy person. All right, so now you have also further inspired me. You gave me chills with your answer, and you were absolutely wonderful. Well, I have to thank you so much for being on the show and discussing your amazing career. You are so inspiring. Thank you for sharing with us your journey. What a remarkable journey thus far. Oh, so my inspirational quote is from Plato. Music is a moral law. It gives the soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, charm and gaiety to life and to everything. So thank you for watching Ingrid's World, and don't forget to friend us on Facebook at Ingrid's World or follow the show at Ingrid's World VA in Twitter and in Instagram. And if you miss an episode, watch the show at Ingrid's World LLC YouTube channel or at ingridsworld.org. Thank you everyone for your wonderful support, and do good out there today.